Well, that went extremely well on the audio side because that was super dope. Ignore that. We are not Full Press Hockey, but we are Dylan and Ross Day Sports with the Full Press Covered Full Press Radio Network. That was a super dope intro. I love that a lot.
I just saw another video, so I clicked on it.
I love it. What's going on, everybody? Ross Jackson here at Ross Jackson NOLA. You've also got Dylan Sanders at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. Your new Dylan. Tell all the people what it is that you're doing now, because you've continued to grow, my friend, and it's so awesome to see.
Well, Ross, I'm trying to beat you for the longest resume.
I have an unfair head start because I am extremely old.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Like, I mean, did they even have paper back in the 60s when you guys started in this business?
No paper in the 60s at all. We just shouted news stories at each other.
It was all technology.
Right. Exactly right. It was all computers. And then we got set back, then we had paper for a while, and then now we're kind of almost back to where we were in the 60s.
But no, so for this college football season, I'm going to be creating, at least this college football season, it's like an internship, do school stuff. But I am going to be joining the Solid Verbal social media team. Or the Solid Verbal is a college football podcast twice a week. It's very, very good. If you don't listen to it, you should. They know literally everything about college football. Both of the hosts have been doing it for 12 years, and they don't watch the NFL. They're not NFL fans. They're strictly college football fans.
Love it.
Yeah, so it's a lot of fun.
It's great. You've got that. You've got the Reveille where you're writing. Where we're covering
everything. Yeah, Reveille. I got Canal Street Chronicles. I got this. I still work at GameStop.
How was GameStop this weekend? Busy? Not busy? I mean, I know the answer to this because I FaceTimed with you at work. So
it was a little slow. It was a little slow. I will say that. I'll give that much information.
There you go. But I love it, dude. I love it. I love seeing it. I feel like every couple of days I wake up and then Dylan's like, got a new thing. This thing is happening, and I love it.
We are.
There we go. We are now Full Press Hockey. We are now Full Press Hockey. Welcome to. Ooh, wow.
Listen, Full Press Hockey has all this cool stuff.
They got a great setup.
Where's the Dylan and Ross Dave Sports setup? Although I do like this background. This background fits our color scheme.
Mm-hmm.
White and black.
Like literally our color scheme.
Yeah,
I wasn't thinking about that. Oh man. On today's show, we got a lot to discuss, but I just wanted to open up and congratulate Dylan on another great achievement, another great moment. Proud of you, bud.
It's funny. I've been listening. The big deal for me is I've been listening to that show since I was like 15. I think.
Wow. Yeah.
I was like, so whenever I was like forced to go to church every week, I had on Sunday mornings.
It's whenever they church.
Invited, forced drug through screaming and tears, burning inside the building. I would sit in the pew, and then I'd like sneak headphones into my ear so I could listen to the recap shows on Sunday mornings of what happened the night before in college football.
I think it's an incredible thing that you were able to sneak earphones in. People had to see you. They just chose not to acknowledge it.
I worked on the media team, so I like hit slides. So I was like I was at a computer by myself.
Smart. And so like you have headphones in because you need to make sure that like sounds good, that the slides all sound good. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
That the visuals all sound great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nobody knew. That's awesome.
Nobody needs to know.
There you go. Dylan's new single on the way. I love it, man. All right, let's talk a little bit about favorite thing from Twitter. You have your favorite thing from Twitter from over the weekend?
Let's see. Oh, Ross, I just got. I can set up super follows now.
Yo.
Yeah, I need to get that premium sub.
There you go. Y'all better start tipping, my dude, if you go see them tweets.
You know what I mean? You know what I mean? But no, they what was I gonna say? My favorite thing from Twitter, yes, I need to get it up. I told you about this. This happened the other day, but it's the funniest thing to me. We talked about Jay Williams. We talked about Jay Williams on the show, and so he was on ESPN with Jalen Rose, and this happened. Oh wait, I should probably share the screen. You know what I mean?
Until you do it in the playoffs,
understood.
that question, he's doing it
and he's been doing it in the playoffs. 48 points in the Eastern Conference Finals. Right. He is that guy. And I tried to tell my man Jay Rose. He kept going about how good the Bucks were defensively. I said if they played drop coverage, it was going to be a problem for the Bucks. Before you talk, hold on. Let me break it down. Let me show you.
Well, I got hacked.
Let me show you.
Oh no, Jalen Rose going low.
Man.
Oh, that's outstanding. Oh, that's so good. So for people that don't know the backstory, Jay Williams is the person who tweeted the other day that Dylan brought this up on the show. But Jay Williams tweeted the other day when the Ime Udoka hire was done over at the Boston Celtics that Udoka would be the first ever black coach of the Boston Celtics, which is wildly incorrect because they had a black player coach in Bill Russell back in the 60s. He was a coach by the 70s, and then they had several others, including Doc Rivers not too long ago. And then when sort of met with backlash because of the incorrect tweet, he took the tweet to tell everybody that he got hacked, which would be a really weird and oddly specific thing for someone who hacks your account to tweet out, right?
Yeah. Yo, I just hacked Jay Williams' account. Let me go congratulate Ime Udoka. That'll show him.
Oh man, like just say you were wrong. If you were wrong, like it's okay. Like people tweet incorrect all the time. Like it happens. Like I don't know. It's wild.
I don't know, man. It's crazy. People are getting real crazy out there.
People are getting real crazy out there.
Like
the world opens back up and everybody's going nuts.
Every world opens back up. Everybody's thanking each other, congratulating.
Yeah, it's showing each other kindness. It's just wild out there. Treacherous.
Disgusting. Ross. Actually, can I share another one of my? Can I do two favorite things from Twitter?
Of course. There's a good chance that your second one might be what I was going to show. So please go right ahead.
I don't think it will be.
Okay.
But I liked an NFL commercial today, Ross.
Okay.
I liked an NFL commercial today, and I don't know. I know it's like June, and it's like Pride Month, but I just liked. I don't know. It didn't seem very NFL to make this commercial, but I liked it.
Okay.
And it was a Trevor project, but starting an NFL commercial with football is gay and football is lesbian is pretty.
That's pretty big.
Ballsy.
Yeah.
On the NFL's part, and as you can imagine, the replies are overwhelmingly positive. And everything went perfectly, as it should.
Everything went exactly as you expect it to go at this point, if not better, honestly.
If not better, yeah.
Honestly. Ross,
what was your favorite thing, brother?
I'm trying to get a. Here it is. I finally got the video.
Kyle said you might even say footballsy.
Welcome back, Kyle. Thanks for being here, buddy. Make sure you check out Kyle over with the Full Press Fantasy Show as well. Follow him at Sinra Says on Twitter. Here we go. I'm just getting my video up here. All right, so here we go. Dylan, I think you're gonna like this. I saw it on Twitter the other day, but maybe the video got taken, or yesterday, last night, but maybe the video got taken down or something. But yesterday we had a little race between Kenny and Chuck.
Oh, yes.
And so I wanted to go ahead and play this. I had to go find it on YouTube, but here we go.
That means not underdog. Was Shaq a good defender? Read it, Kenny.
Shaq was really good defensively as a one-on-one defender in the post because of sheer size, strength, and athleticism. In today's NBA, he would not be seen as nearly as great of a defender due to his lack of.
Okay, Google, what about Charles Barkley?
Okay, he finished his career with a defensive rating of 105, which is
Terrible
for an arrow, where a team scored like 89 points a game. But he played on an aging team in Philly and on the offensive-minded team in Phoenix.
Don't you ever talk to
on
me about no
outscoring the other
defense.
team.
That's Google.
All right, I'm gonna skip ahead a little bit because I thought that part was funny, but I want to get to the.
Yeah, let's fix quickly.
Here we go.
Worse than you is Brooke Lopez.
That's true on the picture.
Okay. Hey, can you do?
No, because I'm not helping you.
Yeah, let's fix quickly. Let's go.
Everybody's right.
Oh, Chuck beat you. Chuck beat you. Chuck beat you.
I was laughing.
Chuck beat
He
you.
actually won because I
Chuck
was
beat you.
laughing.
Always got an excuse.
I was laughing. Hey, when I couldn't hold this.
Clear your picks, man. We're running.
Oh, I love it. TNT, NBA on TNT is so good. It's so fun.
Man.
It's such a fun show.
I want to have my own show one day.
You will.
Yeah, one
Here,
day.
actually, here you go.
Whoa! All right, I need to go race. Ross, look, it's your show now.
Whoa, weird. Not a fan. Not a fan.
You can't lose to Barkley. Well, apparently you can, and he did.
But Kyle's first point is correct. Oh, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny.
Oh, Kenny. All right, you have a performance of the weekend since we were gone for the week, and
It was really just all of the Olympic trials.
oh man, it's been so fun to watch. It's been so fun to watch. I mean, let's go ahead and go down this, because this is probably, just to remind everybody that this is very likely going to be a lot of conversation here on the show moving forward. It's going to be the Olympics, because Dylan and I both love the Olympics. The Olympics get started on July 23rd proper, and so we'll be talking a lot about the Olympics, specifically starting that week. But as we get through trials here, and we wrapped up gymnastics trials as well as we wrapped up women's gymnastics trials, and we wrapped up track and field for the most part yesterday. There were a couple of really easy performances of the day based upon who we saw at the Olympic trials over the weekend. Who specifically would you like to give a shout out to? And we'll kind of go across a couple of different athletes, a couple of different sports.
I'll start off with my LSU dude, Javon Harrison, Mr. Jumps, becoming the first player since Jim Thorpe. What an interesting person Jim Thorpe was.
Yeah, for real.
Has his best college defensive back award named after him. And then now we have him. Now he was the last person, and now Javon Harrison, first person since 1912 to first man at least to qualify in both the high jump and the long jump for the Olympics, and he won both national championships last night.
Insane.
Handily won.
Yeah, right. With room for sure. And keep in mind, he had to do both of those events in the same day. Originally, by the time that they had finished up the high jump, he was going to have to turn around and go and do the long jump in 50 minutes. And then because of the what Mike Tirico called oppressive heat in Oregon, they ended up postponing the long jump to later on in the evening, and that ended up being at 8:30 p.m. by the time that he actually got the opportunity to do the long jump.
And Ross, it was good because it had cooled down to 99 degrees.
It's wild. Oregon, Washington right now, it's ridiculous because you have to factor in humidity and everything else going on. You know how it is.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, it's the humidity that gets you, Ross.
That is very loud. No, I thought he was incredibly impressive yesterday.
Yeah. So he did that. Mondo Duplantis, another LSU. Great name, by the way.
Fantastic name.
LSU, he's the favorite for I think the favorite for the gold medal at the Olympics for the pole vault. Of course, Sha'Carri Richardson, who was like she qualified like a week ago, but still awesome shout out.
Yeah.
LSU, I just want to give a shout out to the LSU track and field.
Allison Felix making her return to the Olympics as well. I
Yep.
love it. I believe Javon and Mondo were roommates, if I remember correctly. I think they talked about it like 7 times yesterday. But still, pretty cool story. But yeah, a lot of LSU, a lot of purple and gold in the Olympics, particularly track and field.
Last night, Javon Harrison refused to switch out of his warm-ups and kit that he wore during the high jump. He refused to switch out of them until he competed in the long jump at night.
Gotta love a routine, man.
Yeah.
Gotta love a routine.
Okay,
right,
Ross.
yeah.
What is worse, the Vandy Whistler or the clapping before?
I hate the
track and
clapping
field
so much. So much. Do you not like it either?
I don't mind it.
I guess it's one of those things. I shouldn't say I hate it so much.
I think it'll be cool at the Olympics with a full stadium if they all do it.
That's probably where I am right now. It's where it's like the oh, there you go.
Yep. Red and
Kyle
blue,
put it all
brown,
together.
white. Yep. There we go. White does make gold.
Yeah, I guess I shouldn't say that I hate it. It's just something I'm not a huge fan of, just because I kind of just I don't know. I guess I don't have a reason for it, honestly. Maybe it's just like the old head in me. Perhaps you're right, though. I think probably it's a lot better at the Olympics when it's a full stadium and everything. Like Eugene with 105, 104 degree weather, like people were only in the shaded area of the stadium. And that was kind of it throughout the day yesterday. And so it just felt really like dull. Felt like, yeah, they got like 5 people clapping. That's great. But yeah, I don't know. Not my favorite thing.
It did get a little wild. I don't know.
I think it was just
liked
excessive. Like it was every single person.
That is true. Every single person was doing it.
And then like Javon Harrison for the
They did it
longest
the
time
long. They did
didn't
it.
do it.
They did it the long jump too.
The long jump felt like it was just part of the thing though. Like it wasn't like people getting ready and then stopping and then asking folks to clap. Like in the long jump, people just clapped. And I think like for the high jump, I would maybe if people like just clap, that would be one thing. But it's just like it's the like stopping your preparation, getting everybody to clap. And I get it. Like you're trying to get the crowd behind you and get everybody pumped up and everything like that. But it's interesting. It is funny though. Like the thing that I've loved watching about the Olympics and the Olympic trials is like we have this. Where do you rank the Olympics when it comes to athletics? Like, do you rank it above like the big 4 or the big 3 when it comes to like football, basketball, baseball, hockey? In terms of like, I think about like decorum, right? And I think about like how important the Olympic Games are, the fact that they happen only once every 4 years, how much people train for them. So when I think about like the order of like what is, for lack of a better term, like the fanciest of events, I think
Like prestigious.
Yeah. I put the Olympics above any of like the professional sports things, right?
Oh, for sure.
Like even the NBA, like the NBA players get selected to go and play on their individual national Olympics teams. And then it's an elevated something or another from there. And so for me, what's really interesting and what I love about watching the Olympics is that even though the decorum, the prestige is higher, there's none of this like, you shouldn't be celebrating. You shouldn't be getting the crowd involved. You can't like celebrate your victories. You can't like yell or curse or whatever. Like you're seeing people do everything. Like right after a routine, you would hear people like yelling, like, let's go, like running around and everything like that. And like, it's welcomed. Like it's a part of the experience and everything. Whereas like baseball, if you do that, then all of a sudden you're scum of the earth.
Yeah, baseball is annoying.
Yeah, baseball's really annoying. And I don't mean to just like poke fun at baseball again, but I do think that like even in the NFL, like and the NBA, like there's a habitual need to criticize players for celebrating. Oh, it's too much. Act like you've been there before, blah, 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 blah. in the Olympics, like I didn't feel any of that. You know, people celebrate, people get pumped up, people yell, people scream, people walk off and they're like, oh, I cuffed up. Like, and they're just like, whatever, you know, like there's all of this stuff that's there and it's just a part of the experience. And like, everybody's kind of like laughing and joking. The mics are on, like everything's cool.
Marquise Dindy last night, after he got a really good jump off. I think it was, he got a really, really good jump off. And then he like got up and did a little dance.
Yes.
And was like,
yeah.
and then he was screaming, "It's gonna be a long night."
Yeah. Yeah.
and I'm like, I love it.
Yeah. Like, it's great. Like, you are doing something that like a percent of the population can do. So yeah, go out there and like enjoy your victories. And even though he didn't walk away with the national championship in all of it, like he still deserved his celebration. And it wasn't. And the thing about it is that, and he qualified. And like nobody turned around and was like, well, if he wouldn't have been celebrating, he might have won gold, like we do with the NFL, the NBA, MLB, all this other stuff. Like we tend to like try to penalize players and say, oh, well, if they took it more seriously, or if they act like they've been there before, or blah, 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 then maybe they would be better. We don't do that with these, which are like the ultimate tests of human ability.
They mentioned last night. They mentioned yesterday. Javon Harrison during his he was given a little bit of a break. He went back to his room, played some video games.
Right.
You know, relax. But here it's like if an NBA player goes on Twitch, it's like, well, what you don't care about winning. It's
right.
It's the middle of the off. Like,
right.
Hey, you don't care about winning. Why are you playing? Like,
yeah.
You can't play video games and want to win.
Right. Or people sitting there and like, you know, criticizing players for what they're doing over the course of the off season even and stuff like that. And it's just like, none of that makes sense to me. And then when we talk about like the highest honors when it comes to like athletics on this planet, not just in this country, but on this planet, we are
in the universe, Ross.
Yeah, right. We're far more accepting of it. And I think rightfully so. I don't think that we should be less accepting of it in the Olympics. I just think that maybe we should be more accepting of it in some of these others, dare I even say smaller sports.
Ross, it bottles down. Sports are games. Let people have fun.
For real.
Speaking of games right now, we have France versus Switzerland in the round of 16 of the European Cup right now. It is still 3-3.
Man.
In the 114th minute now.
Oh, boy.
And they're about to go in 6 minutes. If no one scores, they're going to go to PKs.
Just go to them, honestly. Just go to the penalty kicks. Just get it done. Yeah, that's insane. That's wild. Our good friend Maddie Hudak, who has been on the show several times, is very invested in that game, wants France to win, nationality purposes. And nationalism purposes. And turn that game on. She said at the 60th minute, it was 1-0, and then now it is 3-3 going into the 100 and what was it? 106. 100. What was it?
14th. About to be 15th.
Whoa. Jeez, it's rolling. All right, let me give a little bit of a shout out to the women's gymnastics team. If any of you happen to follow me on Twitter, you saw me all about the women's gymnastics team last night. Simone Biles had a bit of a rough day, had stumbles on 3 of her 4 rotations, but still finished in first place for days 1 and 2, just simply based on like her difficulty ratings are usually like 6.4, 6.5, even in some cases 6.6. And so that certainly helps when you're trying to like maximize your score with an execution score, try to get above 14.5, 15 to get like a positive kind of what you would expect to see, you know, the best gymnast in the world doing, the greatest athlete in the world doing. If we're being honest, like, I mean, she's incredible. She went out there and struggled 3 out of 4 events and then finished in first place. It was like upset with herself and was like not happy with the performance that she gave. She had a bit of an off day, but you look at some of the teammates that are around. Suni Lee had an incredible day. She finished in second and then got the immediate qualifier. You got Jordan Childs, who finished in third and then got the qualification there as well. She was selected, but rightfully so, was basically a lock. She had an incredible floor routine. And then you have I can't remember. Oh, Grace McCullough, if I remember correctly, becoming the 4th that was selected in there. It was kind of like between her and then you had DiCello, then you had Michaela Skinner, Leanne Wang was another that was like on the cusp of maybe getting that fourth spot, but it ends up going to Grace. So she's heading there. And then you got the alternates, then the individualist and Michaela Skinner after that, who's had a long road back to gymnastics with Michaela Skinner in particular. So I think this women's gymnastics team is just incredible. And it's going to be a ton of fun to watch in Tokyo.
I can't wait for it, Ross.
Oh, it's going to be so good. And then the men's gymnastics team made it too, but
who cares?
I don't know, man. Like men's gymnastics, is it
hard for you to get into?
There's so many. I think the thing that I like about men's gymnastics is that you get like the high bar, you get the parallel bars, you get the pommel horse. So you get like extra events in there. Oh, and you get the rings. So you get extra events in there all the time, but it's just so much. It's just so many different events and so many different, it's an apparatus for it's like 12 different apparatus and everything. And so it's just so like overdone. And so because of that, you don't have the same type of talent all around as you do with women's gymnastics. Women's gymnastics, you can expect to see these athletes perform at their very best on like 3 out of 4, like 75% of what they're doing. Like Jordan Childs, is going to go out there and absolutely kill it on uneven bars, is going to kill it on the floor routine, might struggle a little bit when it comes to the vault and things like that. Not even struggle, but like less good event for her than you look at some of the others. And then even Simone Biles, like there are a couple of routines that like she considers not her best routines, but like floor routine, her vault, her uneven bars is probably where she's like, this probably isn't really my thing. So there's a couple that are like that. But for men's, because there's so many different ones, you'll find that there's like one person really good at one thing, but not enough kind of spread out all around in terms of the talent.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you don't get the concentration of elite performance like you do with women's gymnastics. I think that's the thing.
Yeah. All right, Ross. Well, let's have a break, and then we can come back, and then we'll talk about maybe some more Olympics, maybe some basketball, maybe
some
something else.
Got some basketball. The Atlanta's about to get their hearts broken. We'll tell you why once we come back here. Dylan Rossi's Sports Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Booyah. Breaky break.
I am now officially rooting for Switzerland because of this one man, Ross.
Who is this one man?
All right, so this is this man at 89-27, Ross, and then 50 seconds later they cut back to him.
Let's go! Oh my gosh, what is it about?
A minute and a half later.
Wow, what is it about the celebration? Like the desire to celebrate by ripping your shirt off. I've never understood that.
It's like specifically a soccer thing too. Like it's really big in soccer.
I don't know. I've seen it in some other stuff too. Like for instance, TJ. TJ celebrates any sporting event that he's excited about by ripping his shirt off. That's never been a thing for me. Oh my gosh. Just outstanding.
Yeah.
He doesn't even look like the same person.
No.
Like that doesn't even look like the same person. That's outstanding.
But now I'm definitely rooting for Switzerland, and we're about to be in PKs.
Definitely going to PKs?
It's looking like it. We're in the 120th minute.
Oh, yeah.
Out of 120. Okay, yeah. PKs. I love PKs. PKs are fun, man.
Yeah, me too. Actually, I'm going to try. What is it on? Is it on NBC?
ESPN.
Espen?
Aspen?
Letter soup.
Aspen? Wow.
Oh, I have a television next to me. What am I doing?
Yeah, Ross, you're living that lavish life.
I got it like that. I don't know. TV's all over there.
I got it like that.
Not from Kyle here. Portugal lost. Portugal did lose. More like Portugal lose. No, you know what? I'm going to stand by that. I choose to stand by.
Shout out friend of Saints Nation, Meg Reyes.
Shout out Meg Reyes. Yeah.
She was on the news today, and this clip's awesome.
Just always tell everyone, and especially little girls, to keep being you. People will try and tell you maybe you're too loud, or you're too bossy, or you're too strong, or you're too emotional, or you're too whatever. So I always tell people, and I would love to encourage little girls to be yourself. There's no such thing as too much, and hopefully the industry at that point will become a much more inclusive and safe space for everyone to be who they are.
It's awesome. And
Shut up.
here we go. All right, everybody, we are back. Dylan and Ross Save Sports, Full Press Coverage, Full Press Radio Network. Dylan, let's talk a little bit about the NBA. What's about to happen in Atlanta?
There about to be some. Well, is it going to be heartbreak? They're about to get eliminated. But is it gonna be heartbreaking? Because should they be there?
That's
should
fair.
they even be where they are?
That's fair, right? Like it's the idea essentially being that like, hey, we got this far, that's pretty great. Like we didn't expect to be here type of mentality. Mm-hmm. I also think that like at some point, if you're an Atlanta sports fan, you just have to be ready. You just have to expect the worst, right? Like, I mean, it just comes with being an Atlanta sports fan, I would imagine at this point. And so, like, you know, not to get your hopes up too much, all these other things, just to make sure that you're not, like, you know, potentially, you know, completely upsetting yourself by the time that it's all said and done. And so, Milwaukee's got a 2-1 lead right now. And we got some news about Trae Young earlier today that it looks like well, is it that he's questionable? They're not sure of his availability?
He's questionable.
Questionable for game 4, which will be tomorrow. And that would be big. I mean, like if you lose Trae Young, then you're going down 3-1, more than likely, at least. More than likely. You're going down 3-1, and then it's hard to come back from that. We love a 3-1 comeback. Mm-hmm. We love a 3-1 comeback, though. But, I mean, even if Atlanta gets eliminated here in the Eastern Conference Finals, like it's still a success for that team.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's easily a success. I don't think that there's anything to feel bad about if you're an Atlanta fan.
What would you say is the missing ingredient? And maybe that's not the right thing, right? Maybe it's not a certain player or anything like that. Maybe the roster's right, but there's just some element that's missing or whatever it might be. What would you say is like the missing ingredient to get Atlanta over the hump?
Experience.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Like it
I think it's
doesn't
just
feel
experience.
it doesn't feel, I mean, they have a good presence inside. You have a young star in Trae Young who can score. I think it'd be great for them to have like another, like one more reliable scorer. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't know, a Tyler Hero maybe or whatever. But you know what I mean? Just another reliable scorer that you can have on that team, I think would be really helpful. Another developed scorer. But it really feels like it just comes down to having been there before might be all the difference for them moving forward.
Mm-hmm. Most every draft I see, NBA mock draft for the Hawks, I see them taking a scorer, a shooter, because it would be nice to not have to have Trae Young score 48 points in game 1,
right,
to win.
Yeah. And you don't need much, right? Like, I mean, if Trae Young can average you 24, 23 points, then you can get a pretty solid 17, 18 out of a player that's reliable. Even a 20, you know, another 20 point, 19 point scorer. Like, that would be more than helpful to add to this team.
Here, the latest ESPN mock draft has the Atlanta Hawks selecting Trey Mann.
Oh, sure.
Who could be a pick and roll ball handler and can play on or off the ball.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that'd be a great selection for him.
And shot 40 from 3 in college.
Yeah. What do you feel like in terms of the likelihood of Milwaukee? Oh, all right. Switzerland got one.
Okay. Yeah, you're a little bit ahead of me.
All right, dope. I won't do that again. I'll let you give the soccer updates as we go through.
Okay.
That way I don't spoil anything for you. But with Milwaukee looking to move ahead, or looking like they're going to move ahead, which series would you rather see? Milwaukee versus Phoenix or Milwaukee versus LA? Like, leaving alone that we're lifelong Phoenix Suns fans, removing the bias, which matchup would you rather see?
I would the one I want to see the most is Phoenix Atlanta.
Oh, sure.
And then I guess Phoenix Bucks. And then Clippers Bucks, then Clippers Hawks.
Yeah, I would agree with that. I want Phoenix in the finals, and they're very close. They're one win away. We could see
One
them
win away
advance tonight.
Ross, there's no chance anything happens to the Suns. I'm putting it. Chris Paul will make it through tonight's game. Please don't let it happen to my man again.
I know.
I will be devastated if Chris Paul gets hurt tonight.
Yeah. Now he got COVID.
And France ties it up 1-1.
There you go. Wow. Yeah, you are well behind me.
Oh,
Okay.
I had just noticed.
Yeah.
I missed the kick.
Oh,
Because
gotcha.
how we were talking, so it wasn't exactly. But I am a good bit behind you.
Yeah. All right. So when you're gonna get more of that guy here in a moment. I don't feel bad telling you that.
2-1. 2-1.
Kyle Senra asked, how are you already putting the Bucks in, though, when the Clippers are the ones that might get eliminated tonight? I feel that series is closer to sealed than Hawks Bucks. Yes, no, we agree. We just hadn't started talking about the Suns Clippers game yet. We started off with Hawks and Bucks because we were kind of recapping what happened over the weekend. But yeah, I mean, I would say that series is far more sealed because that series is one game away from being put away. Milwaukee still has to win 2 games, right? But you feel like Milwaukee is
the feel of that. The feel of that series is definitely one-sided. Well,
Yeah.
it's weird, especially that game. That game was very defeated because it felt like Atlanta did all that they could,
right.
and won. It's 2-2 now, by the way. They did. It felt like they did all that they could. And then they still lost by like 10 points.
Yeah. Yeah, it stinks, man. Like, it's, I would love to see Atlanta move on because I love seeing these young guys and everything continue to win here. But I mean, just Milwaukee's the same way. I just think, I don't know what it is. I don't know how to explain it, but I would rather see Atlanta move on just because I think that they're underdogs in this situation, right? Like they were completely.
It's also just more fun to watch.
And they're more fun to watch. That's very true. But Milwaukee's still a very good team. And can they finally get over the hump for themselves too? Because they're looking to do what we might be talking about Atlanta doing next year, perhaps. All right, let's check in for Clippers and Suns. This, like we said earlier, the Suns have the ability here tonight to put this series away, advance to the finals the first time since Charles Barkley played in Pahonix. This is really great. We're obviously big fans of this. Chris Paul, Monty Williams, Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, Cameron Payne has been outstanding so far during all this. It's been really incredible, this series and this team and the way that they have performed opposite the Los Angeles Clippers. And so
3-3.
All right. Man, this game's going to go forever. This game is not ending. If we finish this show...
I switched to my computer and it is much further ahead.
Oh, okay, great. Did you just see the replay of Thurman?
Yeah.
Okay, great. So then we're pretty much on the same now. But I'm very intrigued, very interested in tonight's matchup, obviously. But my fingers are crossed that Phoenix can close it out and put it away.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I feel like that series feels over as well. I mean, it'd be crazy. It'd be crazy if they came back, but I just don't see it happening.
It would be wild, right? I mean, you get, you especially to see the Clippers do that with Kawhi Leonard out.
4-3 Switzerland.
Mm-hmm. He got a hand on that one too.
He did, yeah.
Wasn't able to keep
he palmed it.
So close. But to see them be able to do that without Kawhi Leonard would be remarkable. Don't get me wrong. But I don't know, man. Like, it feels like in the last matchup between Los Angeles and Phoenix, we saw Paul George come up short at the free throw line again when he needed to come through, and then followed up by DeMarcus Cousins coming through and just like knocking down the free throw he needed to knock down, and then he threw the ball off the backboard and didn't hit the rim when they were going for the intentional miss. And so it's like these little mental errors at the free throw line that continue to like allow Los Angeles to shoot themselves in the foot, it seems like.
Now Paul George, it's 4-4. No one is missing.
No one's missing.
This is awesome. We are. What was I gonna say? I don't know what I was gonna. Paul George needs 3 great games.
Yeah.
Now, or else people are gonna be coming for his head, and he's not gonna be able to use Twitter for a month.
Imagine being so important that like you doing your job means that you can't be on Twitter for like a month. Yeah, no, I mean it's been insane, like to see this series and to watch the series go down as it has. Chris
5-4.
Paul, oh my goodness, they just keep on racking them up. France, Switzerland, by the way, in penalty kicks after playing 120 minutes, tied up 3-3. Now in penalty kicks here. You said 5 Switzerland, 4 France right now.
Mm-hmm.
Is that right? Yeah.
No one's missed.
No one's missed a penalty kick so far.
France is about to go to their 5th.
All right, let's watch this real quick before we go into our, because this could be it. Like if France misses this,
then it's over. And if they hit it, do they just do more PKs?
Yeah, they have to keep going because it's the tournament. So somebody's got to advance.
I like this is a lot. NHL finals do start tonight. We'll get to that in a second.
Yeah. And I also want to talk about Damian Lillard. Oh, what a save!
What a save, Kylian Mbappe.
That should be it, right?
Is that
yeah,
there we go.
I was waiting for somebody to start running. What a
Switzerland
save.
did it.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Incredible. A diving one-handed save, had to reach back to knock it out to keep it from going in the net. That was absolutely outstanding. What a performance by Switzerland. Just stayed alive. That's outstanding. So good.
And to have it be Mbappe that misses that's crazy.
Right. Woof. Well, congratulations to Switzerland as they move on. They advance from.
It's because I was
from the
rooting
round
for
of
them.
16. It's because you were going for him. It's because of that guy. Honestly, like that guy in the audience, like willed them to a victory.
They should have had a camera trained on him.
For real. I need to see his reaction after the block, after the save. For sure. Valiant effort by France, though, obviously. I mean, fantastic game. What a match. All right, let's talk real quick before we move on to the NHL. We're going to talk a little bit about the NHL finals. We have the finals are all set. We got the Canadiens going up against the Tampa Bay Lightning, making a return to the Stanley Cup Finals. But before we get to there, Kyle Sinner says breaking news: Paxton Lynch signs with the CFL, the Saskatchewan Roughriders. Shout out Paxton Lynch.
Oh boy. One last thing I will say. So after it was Ross, Switzerland completed the 3-1 comeback. They were down 3-1, and then scored 2 goals at the 80th minute and then the 91st minute.
Wow!
And then now won through PKs. So it was a 3-1 comeback.
You know what we love?
It's a 3-1 comeback.
Love a 3-1 comeback. That's great. Let's talk a little bit real quick before we leave the NBA here. Talk a little bit about the Damian Lillard news. This is something that is a little bit out of the ordinary for New Orleans sports
Nicole
fans.
Auerbach just tweeted out French fried.
Outstanding. Something a little different for New Orleans sports fans, that you're actually hearing the Pelicans connected to a superstar all of a sudden. And shout out to NewOrleans.network's Pels Pod, did a great job covering this earlier today. You can check that out at NewOrleans.network on YouTube. The Rattlers getting all that done. Outstanding stuff. But how likely is it to see Dame leave Portland at this point with the Chauncey Billups hire? And is there a real shot that the Pelicans end up landing him?
Low.
It's low, right? That he ends up leaving Portland at all?
Yeah, probably. Probably. I don't know. I don't know. It doesn't. I don't know. It would be weird. It's gonna be weird to see him on a different jersey. But I mean, it'll come down to, I mean, who can offer more, and the three teams with, I think, the most trade value right now are the Oklahoma City Thunder, Houston Rockets, and New Orleans Pelicans.
Yeah. Yeah, because bear in mind that New Orleans has, some young players that they can trade, and then of course they also have all of the all the draft selections that they got from the Los Angeles trade, from the Anthony Davis trade, and then all of the draft selections they have from Milwaukee following the Drew Holiday trade. Is the best way to utilize that draft capital in the draft, like actually taking that into the draft, or is moving it for a superstar? Does that make sense?
It just depends on the timeline. It would make sense if Zion's starting to get annoyed, or Zion's camp is,
The family, second
the
cousin,
family,
twice removed.
second cousin twice removed. If they're upset and you want to win now or win sooner, I mean, Dame's the key to do that.
But if you feel like Zion's in a comfortable enough place that he'll be patient with the process and everything, then you don't necessarily have to rush through that. And then, of course, bearing in mind that like he's still under contract for more years, and then you have the ability to retain him for more years after that. So, I mean, you pretty much got a minimum of 8 total years with the guy in the first place. So there's all of that. But I think it's interesting. I'll be interested to see if Dame does end up anywhere else. But if he does, it's because he forces his way out, which hasn't seemed to be the temperature thus far. We'll have to see how it goes with the new coaching hire. And of course, he wanted a different coach there, and he was kind of championing for an assistant or somebody within the organization to have that job. But I don't know. I just don't. It's not like Portland's just going to say, okay, well, we're going to trade Dame Lillard. Like, it would have to be Dame pushing his way out. Which we just don't have any evidence of at this time. So,
Yeah.
all right. Good.
Oh, no. What were you going to say?
I was going to turn the page to the NHL to close out the show. Take a look at the NHL finals. Montreal, the Habs getting in there, and the Habs, getting in there and taking on the Tampa Lightning tonight in the first game of the finals. Who are you pulling for here?
Anyway, I'm going Montreal.
Yeah, I have to.
Tampa Bay is spoiled.
Tampa's got enough, right?
You're good, Tampa. Calm down.
You got a Stanley Cup last year. You got a nice run by the Rays. You're good.
Leave some for the rest of us.
Yeah. And give some to Canada, for God's sake. Like, let them have something. Jesus.
Yeah.
I'm all about it. And they're kind of the Cinderella story here, right? In terms of like their run to the Stanley Cup final.
Yeah. I mean, Tampa Bay was there last year. We got this. We got this. I'm excited. I'm excited. I think it'll be fun. I think it'll be a good series. Hopefully.
Yeah. Now, we love us some playoff hockey, and Stanley Cup final hockey is a whole other level. Like this becomes very, very fun very, very quickly. NBC Sports at 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 7 p.m. Central will be the beginning. And we also got a little bit more news as well about the Seattle Kraken, lifelong Kraken fans over here. They and the Panthers, the Florida Panthers, are going to be sharing the same AHL team in 2021-2022. So they'll get the expansion draft, and then it looks like they've already been linked to a pretty good AHL team there. This goaltending match is insane. Arguably the two best goalies in this matchup, which I like. So you're probably expecting a low scoring game. Let me go see what the over under is for
It's
it.
5.
The over under is 5.
Mm-hmm.
Might want to take the under on that. I don't know.
You taking the under?
I don't know. If the goaltending, I mean, if these are two of the best goaltenders in the NHL, then maybe you can. But again, like it's playoff hockey, right? So.
Also tonight, another final starts tonight, Ross. Vanderbilt versus Mississippi State.
Oh yeah.
And this one, the way I've seen these two teams described, and I loved it. It's Ivy League versus Beer League, in the styles of play from these two teams. And I love it. I'm rooting. As much as it's an SEC team. It's an SEC versus SEC. I have to root for an SEC team. I'll say this right now, Russ. I just took my mic stand off. I'm not one of those people that are like, I'll root for Alabama if they're not playing LSU, because the SEC. No, I want all other SEC teams to crash and burn and fail. Mm-hmm. But I have to root for an SEC team here, and I'll root for Mississippi State because I like their style of play a little bit more. It's more fun to watch.
And no Whistler.
Oh my god. I'm gonna have to watch these games on mute. I really can't stand the Whistler, man.
It's so much. It's so much. So all right. So you're taking Mississippi State here. I was gonna take Mississippi State as well. I'm always looking to go for the underdog. Looking forward to all this. All right. And some quick non-sports related topic to close this out, Dylan. I watched Spider-Man Far From Home yesterday.
Ooh, what'd you think?
I liked it a lot. I was really, really worried about it for a while. I was really, really worried about it. Like I don't want to spoil too much of it, but when they're just like very conspicuously sitting in a bar together, I was like, what is this? Like, you have got to be kidding me. And then like, of course, it's a well-crafted movie, so like that's the moment that everything gets explained as well. So it ended up being way better than I was expecting it to be.
I forget you probably don't know that much about Mysterio going into the movie.
I knew that I knew who he was, and I knew that he was not who he was portrayed to be at the beginning of the movie.
Yeah.
I knew very well that there was going to be some moment, right? Some pivot. Everything like that. But I thought, oh, well, maybe they just took a different approach with the character or something like that and stuff. And then like that.
And then they were in the bar and you're like, what is going on here?
Then I was like, something's fishy. Something's fishy. Like there's nothing but evidence of fishy stuff at that point.
Also, what do you think of the post-credit scene, Ross?
Let me remember the post-credits scenes because I remember there were two of them.
It was the one with J.K. Simmons. Back as
that was the first like mid-credit scene. That wasn't the actual end of the movie, right? Great.
Yeah.
That was pretty crazy.
It felt weird to be back and see him back.
Yeah, but it was cool. We read about it because Megan and I were both wildly like shocked to see him back in that role, or in a Daily Bugle relevant role. And then we read about it, and it was like, oh, because Stan Lee wasn't able to make a cameo in this one, this made sense for them to do, which was super cool. I thought that was awesome.
Also, man, talk about a pop off in a movie theater. I saw that opening night too, and whenever J.K. Simmons popped up on that screen, everybody went crazy, me included, because you know awesome. How much I love those the first three. I love the Spider-Man 3. It's terrible, but I love it.
Well,
I like Spider-Man 3. I always explain this. I like Spider-Man 3 because I love petty stuff. Mm-hmm. And Spider-Man 3 is purposefully awful because Sony wanted Sam Raimi to do too much. And he was like, no. And then he like wasted all of the money on one specific part of the movie. And then the rest of it, and rushed it. Like it's like it was made poorly out of spite. And I kind of love that about it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a story.
But and of course Sam Raimi making the next Doctor Strange movie. So I'm excited. I love Sam Raimi. All right, Ross. You want to call it a day? Did we save sports?
I think we saved sports. I think we saved. We're in the process of saving the Olympics. We're in the process of saving being proud of things that you achieve as well. I think those
What did
are
we
things we'll
learn?
continue tomorrow. What did we learn today?
I don't know. What did we
We
learn?
learned today. Oh, we learned don't race Charles Barkley because you're probably gonna lose.
Yep. Unless you're Shaq.
Unless you're Shaq. Unless you're Shaq.
How
Don't
did
race
Kenny the
Charles
Jet
Barkley.
Smith lose to Shaq and Charles Barkley?
How did somebody, and he's got the nickname the Jet too, which is just
He's doing Houston wrong. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
it's
Houston
not.
Rockets legend.
That's right. That's right. So there you go. All right, Dylan. Always a pleasure, my man. Congratulations again on everything that you've got going on. The new position, everything that you've got, really, really excited to see all of it going on. You want to keep up with more of that, check them out at Dilly Sanders on Twitter. You can find me on Twitter at Ross Jackson Nola, N-O-L-A. And of course, you can find Full Press Radio on Twitter at Full Press Radio. Now that you're done here, go and check out Full Press Coverage, the website. Go and find the newest episode of Locked on Fantasy and get everything that you need from Kyle Sinera and the band over there to get you ready for your fantasy football season. We appreciate you very much for being here. We'll be back tomorrow, 5 p.m. Eastern Time. Much love. We'll see you then. Dylan?
Go Tigers.